This series wouldn't be possible without the humour, dedication and passion of the comics you're about to see on screen. You can thank them and encourage them by posting this episode to your Facebook page and by subscribing to the Jokes on Me's YouTube channel, where new episodes will be posted weekly. All jokes aside, if you take a moment to do this, then seriously, thank you.
Every well-known comedian was once an unknown comedian.
Remember doing this on a really hot day? The problem is people behind you think you're doing something completely different.
Night after night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some comedy?
Mic after mic. Dedicated or just delusional?
I'm pursuing my passion. And we all know there's money in passion.
I'd love to make a good living.
Yeah, good one, good luck!
Come backstage as we follow the people following the dream.
We're all weird. We don't get paid. You get a drink voucher if you're lucky.
Comedy is one of those things where there's no obvious path.
You can't just tick your boxes down a sheet and at the bottom of it is success.
You will get heckled. What?
Essentially, you're putting yourself in a situation that most people find terrifying. If you kill, you're a hero. And if you die, you're the person that ruined their night.
Hello, my little rays of sunshine. Let us rock. You guys like my body, huh? Been considering this a lot lately, but I'm thinking about letting myself go.
There's something special about us doing it up there on stage. Like, you can't be like 100% normal.
Everyone is totally different. If you sit in a room with all of us, we're all totally different people.
I work full time. I run a graphic art studio.
I do like accounting.
I do admin. Glamorous.
I was a lawyer before.
No day job for me. I'm a Centrelink comedian.
It's about trying things. You do heaps of things for no money before you even see any money. I kind of like the work ethic of that.
I've liked stand-up since I was very little. As a kid, I used to be the annoying kid that tried everything that was said. They would say something, and then I'd see it like a riddle and try and make it funny back. That was basically all I did. I didn't care. Like, it was like, have you done your homework? Like, I would always respond with a joke. It's all I've ever really wanted to do.
I used to make my uncle laugh, I used to make my father laugh, and we used to make these people laugh at school and everything, but I never even knew that stand-up, like an open mic, even existed. I didn't even know. That's how stupid I am. I didn't even think of it.
I remember just sitting there watching an audience, thinking, I can't believe this guy or girl is saying something, and all these people are laughing. And to me, that was such a powerful thought. Well, that was pretty impressive.
Just getting up there and all you have is your words and your body and, emitting noise and, flailing limbs and things like that, and that being the only thing you can convey a message with.
I remember just being obsessed with Carl Barron.
The Late Show with the D-Generation and Full Frontal.
I loved the Comedy Company.
Eddie Murphy Raw, Eddie Murphy Delirious, and then as a kid just watch it over and over and over again.
I admired it as someone who was just a fan and thought that they didn't have the guts.
I never thought really of doing it. It just was one of those things that just seemed like, it was a bit like magic, couldn't work out how to do it.
I enjoyed comedy. I went and watched stand-up comics, and I guess I thought I was funny.
That's the thing with a lot of people, they stand up on stage and they're quite funny people off stage, but on stage they're just horrendous.
My brother's the kind of dude that's funny in that he remembers so many jokes and regurgitates them just at the right time, so he seems like that guy, but they're someone else's jokes.
I got a pair of boardies, right? On the label, it's like, line dry without delay. Pretty fucking uppity for a $10 pair of boardies from Lowe's. My wife's got shit that says, line dry in the shade. Whose fucking clotheslines in the shade?
It's totally artificial. You're just standing there with a room of people looking at you. You don't get to just chip in with a funny line here and there. You have to build the whole scenario yourself.
I just got more and more upset by the fact I hadn't done it. And I think the impetus was finally when I tried at 20. I tried, but I was under the thumb of my mum and she caught me out. Sort of, I was actually at a gig with notes, jokes about, this is a lot like sex. And then she rang me and said, where were you? Where are you? And I was too embarrassed to admit that I was at comedy. So I just said, I'm on my way home, there's traffic, and just ran off. I was at the gig at Lazy Susan's and then left.
I always thought it'd be great to be on stage and to be part of it and to be the guy getting the applause, but insecurities and lack of confidence and all these other things kind of floated around and just prevented me from doing it.
But then I hadn't done it, and every time I got drunk, I used to end up just in the toilets, just yelling at myself, going, "You got to do it, man."
My grandfather was initially what got me interested in just humour and laughter and all that kind of stuff. He was a Holocaust survivor who was in the concentration camps, and his whole family got wiped out. He became a Borscht Belt comedian after the war as a way of dealing with his pain. And so from a really young age, I was raised with a whole kind of notion of life's really fucking hard, life's really difficult, but if you can flip your perspective and kind of laugh at yourself and laugh at your situation, it will make something that's very difficult that little bit easier. Just as he was about to die, in the last few weeks of his life, we were talking a lot about life and regret. His main regret was that he never got to pursue performing because he had to immigrate to Australia in '55, and the language barrier, he never got to do it. And it was one of the only times in life I ever saw him get really emotional, like teary emotional. And so after he died, I kind of had this thing of like, well, you know, what's scarier? Trying it and failing, or getting to 88 and being on the brink of death and knowing that that's it, you don't have that chance.
I was sitting at work and I just had this major meltdown one afternoon. I was sitting there, just went, I can't handle this anymore. It's like Groundhog Day.
It wasn't that I kind of didn't like work. I did enjoy that work, but I thought if I don't give this stuff a go, that I'll regret it.
I went to a comedy room just to check it out. I watched it, I was like, okay, open mic, this is doable. These guys are like, yeah, I can handle this, I can do it.
I never really thought I'd do it long term. I just thought this would be a fun thing to do just once. I reckon I could get 5 minutes together.
I remember they're saying you got to write 5 minutes of material. I was like, there's no way I could do it.
So I talked to the promoters and I said, can I get on? They said, sure, next week. And I said, no, I need 4 weeks to prepare. And so they were like, okay, that's weird, but all right.
There was 2 guys I said, come along, let's not tell anyone. I'm just going to do a set. If it doesn't go well, it'll just be something we all were there for, and we won't ever tell anyone. Before the gig, his pep talk to me was, listen, Andrew, this is not going to go well. Probably no one's going to laugh, but you just need to go through. Just don't worry, they're not going to laugh. Don't have your expectations too high. And yeah, it was a great pep talk.
Saturday morning I got up and got ready. Mum said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to stand-up comedy. She said, you're actually doing it? I said, yeah.
I went over to a girlfriend's the other day and both my girlfriends are standing in the lounge room. They're whinging about how much weight they've put on. Mind you, they're both size 8. They had tweezers squeezing at their skin. Oh, I'm so freaking fat. Oh, I don't even want to be seen outdoors again. I said, Jesus, girls, how do you think I feel? Got on the scales the other day and it read out my phone number.
You know, and I did it and I got all these laughs and thought, God, sort of kind of half decent. You know, wow, I actually wrote this myself.
I loved it. Like, that was my best experience on stage. And it wasn't even a stage. Like, it wasn't a raised platform. The lighting was crap. It was just a room. It was a function room in a bowling club. You know, it was as unglamorous as you can get. But it was my first go.
Yeah, I'll never forget. It was a top night, you know. I even went up there and they said it's his first time, and they gave me like a round of applause. I felt all warm and fuzzy.
And my one beats around the bush, you know. If I leave like toilet or, you know, undies or whatever in the bathroom, she doesn't come out direct. Beats around the fucking bush. Rather that woman that comes with a knife. Listen here, you fat prick. Next time you leave that shit in the fucking bathroom, I'm gonna stab you. Throw fingers in your cut. Die, you fat prick. I'd rather that.
But it was awesome. It was awesome. And yeah, and then when we went downstairs, that people were coming out too to have a cigarette, and then they said, that was really good, man, that was really good, and I just felt, that was it, hooked.
Man, it was a horrible failure, hey. But a lot of my mates, they were really positive. They're like, dude, you were strong, hey. The crowd's not ready for you.
So shit. I didn't prepare at all. I went along thinking like, I'm a funny person. I make ha-has at barbecues. I go along. Fucking bomb.
It was rough as guts. I don't think I even told a joke. Like, I just talked shit.
I've always been like committed to excellence, And so when I bombed, I did it excellently. Like I really shone.
I spent a year working at the Comedy Store. I told the manager there at the time, a guy called Pete Blacklock, who was just a sadistic motherfucker, and I told him that I wanted to do comedy. So he put me on a Saturday night at the Comedy Store in between two American headliners to a full house, knowing full well what would happen. And I got on, and it was like literally to this day the worst fucking gig of my life. Like, talk about eating a dick, it's just so bad. It's just dead silence, and all you could hear up the back was Pete Blacklock going, ah! And I ran off stage and puked everywhere.
I was so nervous. I don't think I ate for about 2 days before. I get 2 lines in and I blank. I was like, oh, I'll start again. Oops. Started from the top and then got like 2 minutes in and blanked. And I stood there for 40 seconds in silence apologizing.
Have a look at this.
Oh, good.
Welcome in Zoe. Melbourne, everybody.
I'm a woman scorned. I've been fooled.
Oh, she got. See, I'm
Sorry. I'm a woman scorned.
See?
I've been fooled.
Start again.
I just found out the wool had been pulled over my eyes during my entire relationship. I don't want to sound like another crazy, ranty female up here with a microphone, but if you just found out the person you'd seen for years been lying to you the whole time about who they were, you'd be pretty pissy too.
Where are the jokes?
This was my first adult relationship. You know, I started seeing him when I was 21, so we've been seeing each other just over a year. That's definitely longer than a fling, and certainly long enough for me to have developed real feelings. You know, we got along so well together. We spent most nights and weekends. Oops. Alright.
Here comes the break. And the apologies for forgetting.
Oh my god, sorry. I'm so sorry.
See, that's so nice. I came off, I felt so red-faced, and I called my brother who was in Australia, and I just said, I'm really bad at this. I really suck.
My first gig was 93 actually. Did my 5 minutes. They're pretty strict on all the 5 minutes there then, so I did it. Heart raced, everything raced. I got off stage and just went, oh, I have no idea what the hell I said then.
So I'm not a big guy, and I thought, well, I'll go and get a tattoo. I was in that state. So I've walked into the tattoo place. I said, I want a big eagle that's wing spread on the prey. And he put the little transfer there. And the wings were overlapping on this side. So I just got Tweety Bird sitting on a perch.
Listened back and I thought, wow, I got laughs.
It went well for much better than I thought it was going to. And it was kind of that thing where you almost a false confidence of, oh, okay, comedy, you know.
When you get friends to come along to your first gig, they will support you. And I didn't know about charity chuckles back then, and I was getting a lot of charity chuckles, and I actually thought I did really well in the gig because all my friends buoyed me along. Then my second gig, when I went and did the same material, no one I knew was in the audience and no one laughed. And but by then I'd got the bug.
My ego kicked in and thought, I can do this, and I got addicted.
You go home after that gig, you're like, you got the, you know, everything's pumping, you're like amazing feeling, and you don't go to sleep until like 2 or 3 in the morning. You just can't, you just lying in bed just...
Once you get your first laugh, you just get this massive adrenaline rush.
You get addicted to that rush for the laugh. That's what it is. I think it's an addiction after a while.
You go, oh wow, I want another one, I want another one, I want another one. And it builds, and I just got an addiction to being on stage and being in front of the microphone and doing that.
I don't know, something clicked straight away. Something went, you know what, if I actually try and write this, I might be halfway decent at it.
You hear that laugh, you feel the rush, and you're all right for like 3 or 4 days. You don't feel like killing anyone.
Next week on The Joke's on Me.
You're going to get people talk and do things.
Shit.
And you've got to learn how to deal with that.
Does anyone like hecklers?
Me personally, I love hecklers.
One, it's a great opportunity to score points on someone who's not as funny as you.
How tenuous is your grasp on your own craft that you can't deal with someone yelling something out?
Let's discuss this after the gig.
I mean, if you can't win against the heckler, you're probably in the wrong job.
I don't care, man. I hate this. Fuck you.
What? Don't do that to me.
Why don't you guys throw out the type of jokes that I should be telling, funny ones,
I've been thinking long and hard about what I should do. Get a job, buy a house, I could be just like you. Makes no difference either way, we'll all end up the same. Oh, what a trip to dwell inside this romantic brain. Is this a